All right, we're now going to introduce a new number. That new number is E. You might be going, lady, that's a letter. But actually, the E represents a certain number that we're arriving at here. Just as, okay, pi represents a real number. Blah, 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 right? Okay, so E is going to represent another number. It's going to be an irrational number, meaning that in decimal form, it will not repeat or terminate. It just keeps on and on and on. And so the way that it is found is by increasing values of x. We're going to let x get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we are going to evaluate this expression right here for those increasing values of x. When you do that, and you crunch all that, I'm telling you, you need a calculator for this. We end up getting to a number that is 2.71828182710. Okay, so I just like to remember E is about 2.718. That's good. Okay? Then there is some more we know, but we're really not going to have to remember all those decimal places because there is an E button on our calculator. Okay? And I'll show you where that is here in just a minute. We'll be using that quite a bit. So, since E means about 2.7-ish, true story. Okay, 2.7, we'll just say 2.718. If we're going to be graphing this exponential function that has a base that's greater than 1, we already know the shape of this graph. We already know that this is going to be an increasing exponential function. It's going to go through the point 0, 1, and 1e, which is about 2.7. I'm going to eyeball that to be about right there. Well, that's good. Let's get some more points, though. So once again, I'm going to figure some x, y, or f of x ordered pairs. You can let x be anything, but wise old Mrs. Tucker said to use those because they're the easiest to calculate and they have the best chance of appearing on our graph paper. All right? We already know e to the 0 is 1, okay? Because my function evaluated at 0 is e to the 0, and anything to the 0 power is 1. We already know that when x is 1, we have e to the first, and we already know that's just going to be e, which is about 2.718. Those are those 2 points I already have graphed over here or plotted. Now, on your calculators, let me come over here and I'm going to open up my calculator. Let me clear that out from my trig class earlier. If you find your LN button, and we read that as the natural log button, I will bet you $5. Well, I don't know that I want to do that, but that above there you have an e to the x. So if you hit second, because that e to the x is in blue, hit second natural log, it'll pop up e to the, and then saying what do you want to evaluate this at? Okay? Well, e to the 0 is, like we said, 1. And I'm going to ask it, what is e to the first? In case you forget what e is, you can ask it, what is e to the first? There it is. Now, calculators don't carry out as many decimal places as I think they should, okay? Because there, 2.718281828, that looks like that's going to start repeating. 182818, but it doesn't, okay? Okay, let's fill out the rest of the chart, meaning that I want to know when x is -2, what is e to the -2nd? E, don't forget to hit your negative button, not your subtract. E to the -2nd is 1 over e squared. 1 divided by e squared is what that decimal is. What's e to the negative first? What is 1 over e to the positive first? What's 1 divided by e? 1 divided by 2.7 is about 0.36, okay? And then I also need this one down here. What is e squared? What is like 2.7-ish times 2.7-ish? Well, let me just get a better answer for that. E squared is about, well, I think we'll say 7.39. That'll be good enough. 7.39. So fill out those numbers, because I know the second I click off of this, I'm going to forget. 0.1, let me call it 4, 0.14, 0.37, 7.39. Okay, 0.14, 0.37, 0.14, 0.37, 7.39. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, because when I plot those points, I'm telling you what, it's not really going to matter between 0.739 and 0.7389, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so when x is -2, our function is at 0.14. When x is -1, our function is at 0.3, a little bit above that. You got to kind of do the best you can there. We already have 0, 1, and 1e, 2.7-ish. And then we also have 2, and then about 7.4. There's 7, so about 7.4 might be about right up there. Now, drawing in the graph of f of x equals e raised to the x power. It's a little increasing exponential function. Domain is all reals, okay? Range is positives, okay? From a little bit above 0 on.